Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tittle Tattle Tarot. It's the early hours of the morning here in the UK, and I have heard about this dreadful shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to come upstairs and have a look with my Deviant Moon Tarot and see what energy I can get around this individual that committed this atrocious act. I understand that this is Audrey Elizabeth Hale, born a female, 28 years old. Audrey Elizabeth Hale identified as a man and referred to herself as Aidan Hale. The police have referred to her as a female, and her mother referred to her as my daughter. So that's basically the gender side of things, very, very briefly covered. As I say, 28 years old. As a child, she attended the local Presbyterian school. So this was a religious upbringing. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's how she went to school. That's how she was educated and where she educated. She went to art college. She graduated last year and seemed to be working in the field of illustration, marketing illustration. All seemed to be going well. No criminal record. A quiet person, but no indication that there was anything like this going on until she made a phone call to a friend and said that she was going to die that day, and basically that it would all make sense. It would all make sense. The friend did contact the police, who, for whatever reason, were too slow to react. So I want to do a Celtic cross and just see what information the cards can give me on this dreadful shooting. I'll talk about the shooting as we go along. First of all, I want to pull the cards. So just trying to get into this dreadful energy, very disturbing energy of this woman, Audrey Elizabeth Hale, who identified as Aidan Hale. Okay, let's just pull a Celtic cross and see what we come up with, see what the cards want to tell us. Okay. All right. Let's go right to the heart of the matter. Audrey Elizabeth Hale. The center of this is a burden. Her sexuality was a burden to her. Now, that makes no defense for what she did, but let's just read these cards. Wanting to be identified as a male, being born a female, the mother referring to her as my daughter. So it doesn't sound as though the mother had, embraced this this sexuality. So this was a tremendous, she saw this as a tremendous burden, something that she was carrying with her at 28 years old. And, this burden is in reverse. So there you go. She's been carrying it. It's in reverse. Now she's dropping it. This is the phone call to the friend. I'm letting all this go. I'm taking myself out. She didn't actually say that she was going to take out anybody else in that message. It was just about taking herself out. I'm dropping this burden. I'm letting this burden go. It's got too much for me to handle. Now, you know, if you want to take yourself out, then, well, you know, it is your right to do that if you want to commit suicide or what have you. But this was not that, was it? This was causing maximum damage, but she was going to let go all this baggage that she had about her sexuality. And at the top of everything, again, we've got another reversal here. We've got the Four of Swords. That's when you put yourself into isolation, really. It was said she was a very quiet person. She's put herself in isolation and she's thinking about her next move. We've got this in reverse. She's coming out now. So, yeah, I see this was all very highly planned. She dropped the burden. Right, I'm not gonna put up with this any longer. This is the kind of energy that I'm getting. It's not so much as, oh, you know, I just can't go on living. I'm going to take myself out. It's, I'm not putting up with this any longer. It's a very strong energy. I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm not going to, you know, think about this any longer. I've thought about it. Four of Swords that way up. It's that knight lying on the coffin, thinking about his next move. He's not dead. He's thinking about his next move. What do I do? How am I planning to come back better and stronger? Well, she worked it out. She knew what she was going to do. She had a manifesto. She knew her next movement. We've got the Crossing card here, which is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. That's your working card. Your, how are you going to create your life? How are you going to make things grow in your life? This is in reverse. Again, these are ending cards. She had no plan. She was going to drop this burden of her life, her sexuality. She was going to attack and just get rid of what she'd been carrying for 28 years. And crossing that, you've got the work card in reverse. This is not necessarily work, but it's like your plans, any plans that she had for the future, to grow, maybe her working, her creative thing. She was creative. Anything that she had there, she was dropping it. She was stopping it. She'd made a plan in her head. She knew what her next move was, and anything that could grow and could be beneficial, could root and seed, well, it was stopped. There was nothing growing. And at the bottom of things, the give and take card. Although this is even give and take, I kind of see this as, at the bottom of things, I think she felt that she was always in the inferior situation with this give and take, that she never had the upper hand. Look at this person down here with the figure above. In her mind, this is all poor me. People treated me like someone lesser, and that's a very strong, it's not usually something that I feel with this particular card. It's usually fairly even give and take, but these figures are not on an even level. So I see this as being condescended down to. She saw that as being less. There was what she would see as charity being given to her. Oh, poor girl, identifies as a male, not quite right. You know, she saw that sort of condescending attitude, and that was at the bottom of everything. That what she felt was higher people looking down on her because of the way she was. Now, that's what she had in her mind, and she was dropping the lot. She wasn't planning on going ahead and seeding good stuff in her life. She knew what she was going to do. She had a manifesto. She was coming out. She wasn't going to hide away. She was going to come out and do maximum damage. And here we go. In the past, Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is where you really don't know what you're doing. You've got your eyes blindfolded, your arms are tied into you, and it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm all in my mind. It's mental injury as well. She was not mentally stable. Of course she wasn't. To do what she did, she wasn't mentally stable. And she had very, very little idea of where she was going with her life. She knew what she wanted to be a man. She was a woman. She wanted to be a man. And the confusion, the mental torture of that, again, in the past, we can't say too much about the past because I'm looking at a very specific time. She decided to let it go. I'm going to deal with this now. Swords. The dealing with things is vicious attack, and we know that it was. I'm going to take this into my own hands. No longer is the blindfold on. The blindfold's off. I know what I'm doing. This is just before the attack. Very, very dark cards here. And so what did she do? Well, yes, I mean, this is the bully card. This is the stealing something, taking something away. This is stealing people's lives. What more of a theft can you commit than taking somebody's life? 3 small children, 3 6-year-old children, two adults who were just working there, who were just around the school, and then the principal of the school. Well, what more can you steal from someone than their lives? And this is the theft card. Not only is it theft, see how this one is actually killing herself. And it is a girl, it is a woman. She's stolen the utmost precious thing. She's stolen life from 6 people, and look, killing herself. So that's the future. That was her future. She knew what she was going to do. Absolutely knew it. So we've got the Knight of Cups here. I see this as, from the outside, the person that she got in contact with, the person that she messaged. This is the only real positive thing on the table. And bless that person, they got in touch with the police. And very sort of, what an emotional thing to have read, that the person that you considered a friend was said that they were going to do these things. So emotionally, Knight of Cups, that's with the best intention. That if a Knight of Cups moves and does something, it's with the best intention. It comes from the heart. Got in touch with the police. I've had this, worried, got in touch, do something. No blame on this person whatsoever. In fact, just full credit to this person for contacting the police. For whatever reason, the police didn't get there quickly enough. That's another read, that's another story. But yeah, this Knight of Cups, this is the only emotion, good emotion on the table. This is somebody acting at the very, very best of their ability in the situation that they were in. And then what do we see? Well, the home is an unhappy home, probably not a poor home. This is just from the viewpoint of the stability of the home. 10 of coins in reverse, 10 of pentacles. All that glitters isn't gold, I would say. This way up, it's everything's smug and everything's nice. You've got all your possessions around you. There's wealth, enough wealth. I'm not saying overly wealthy, but there's enough to go around. It's a stable home, 4 walls. The 10 is like, yes, the ultimate home, ultimate family. You've got everything really that you need for your comfort. We're in reverse. This is not a happy home life. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. How could it possibly be? If you have all that boiling underneath, for whatever reason, home life is dreadful. absolutely dreadful. So, you know, we've got this awful card of insecurity, instability around the home. And what does the universe say? Well, the world is in reverse. That's it. That's it. This is it. What she said was true. Her world would be coming to an end. There would be no future for it. Universe saw it, saw what was going to happen, couldn't step in. She'd made her mind up that she was on this mission. She was going to not only kill herself, but she was going to do as maximum damage as possible. And the universe said, well, this is it, you know, there will be no future for you. End of the world, no future, no culmination. That's, yes, I've completed this cycle of my life, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do something different now. That stage is done. There's more to come. Better things on the horizon. No, this is it. It's finished. And she is thinking back, nostalgia. She's thinking back the nostalgia. But I don't see this nostalgia as, oh, everything was so much better in my childhood. I see this as the nostalgia of, you know, for me, things weren't so good when I was a child. Things were this, things were that. I was treated like this, I was treated like that. This nostalgia card, this is a violent scene here. This, to me, this looks quite a sort of dark scene here, and people looking, and it's almost like people looking at you in your childhood and seeing the discomfort of you, seeing that you're not one of them. You're not one of them. So let's go even further into this. She had a manifesto. So this was highly planned. So I'm not even going to ask that. She'd had no criminal record, but she had highly planned this. It was a sadistic murder. Absolutely. Let's just take out as many people as possible, cause as much damage. Were her family, although she didn't kill them, were they sort of, in a way, the target? Was she trying to cause them as much damage as possible? The actual family, her family. This is an isolated girl. Yeah, I think so. I think that the Hermit is not a negative card, but whenever I get this particular Hermit, I just see the isolation of the Hermit. You know, the Hermit is a solitary figure, but usually they are people to be trusted, and you would trust them and they would guide you, and you would put your trust in a Hermit. But this version of the Hermit, to me, is always that tortured creature that's alone. And this is how I'm reading this tortured creature that is self-isolated. And here is the home. Here is, I don't know whether it's a mother and father. I've heard mother mentioned. I don't know about father, but look at this happy pod of a home. This was not, it was the 10. It was the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of like rooting in reverse. So yes, although she targeted the school, this was intended to cause maximum damage to her parents. I'm going to take those off. I'm going to see what we've got underneath that. So she wanted to make a point, quite obviously. Is this all to do with religion and her sex? Knight of Cups and the Hierophant. I think that the Hierophant is a religious card. This is the rules and regulations of the church. This is, you know, we have strict way of being. We have morals and principles in our Presbyterian church. She would have been brought up a Christian, and these are the way that you grow up as a Christian. It would have been quite a loving message. You know, this is the way that we do it. You do these rules, you do them with love. King of Cups is probably the energy around teachers, around principal of the school, maybe, what have you. But it was actually a caring environment. But they have very strong rules about what is acceptable and what is not as a Christian. So I see that this was a targeted thing against her upbringing. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to go right to the bottom of the matter. What's right at the bottom here? Working together. And let's pull another one. Working together. So let's just move some of these out of the way. She couldn't do this. She couldn't work together. She was always the outsider. She was unable to work with people. And she just realized that she was not part of a team. She sort of held on to her emotions, held everything very close to her chest, and then let it all go. That was right at the beginning. You know, I'm gonna let this burden go. I'm gonna sort this out. Unable to work as a team, saw that this is the way that it should be, harmonious working with people, but wasn't able to do that, at all. So let's just have a few more cards. So this was purely a hate crime. It was a hate crime against religion. Yeah, look, there you go. A hate crime against the religious way that she was brought up, a hate crime against, you know, her family, death in reverse. It's like the ultimate finish. Take it out. Look how this figure here is stamping down on the smaller figure. She killed 6 small children plus 3 adults. Sorry, 3 small children plus 3 adults. Stamping down. You don't care. You don't care about this. I will squash you. I will kill you. I will make my point. And this is the whole thing, to make her point. She didn't like the way that she'd been raised as a Presbyterian. She didn't like the fact that people weren't accepting her sexuality. And, you know, none of this has anything really to do with religion. None of this has anything to do with what sexuality you are. All of this has something to do with a woman who is very mentally unstable. And let's face it, when you do something like this, it is, as I said, it is the ultimate. It is the worst possible way of getting yourself seen, of making your point. So I just want to have one more shuffle here. There's so much to unwrap here, so deep, and there's so much to go through. Just have a last few cards regarding this. Yeah. She'd limited herself. That was her choice now. When you're this way up, you know, you've got choices in life and you choose things, and, you know, you can choose to be good. You can choose to be successful. You know, you can choose different options, different routes in life. She's got 7 cups here that she could choose from, but she had one choice, or she didn't have one choice. She picked one cup, and the cup that she picked was the ultimate destructive cup. And that was her choice, and that's what she chose to do, and that's at the center of everything here. The Empress, I think this was to hurt her mother as much as possible. I think the Empress here, I don't think that her mother was a bad person at all, but I think this was, she called her my daughter. She didn't say my son, or, you know, my transgender child, you know, or anything like that. She called her daughter, and I think this was to cause maximum damage to her mother. Look what you've made me do. Look what you've driven me to. And Ace of Swords in reverse, you know, I mean, this, again, this is a harsh card. This is the right way up. It's the right thing. It's justice. It's the law. It's, you know, the way forward. It's the Ace of Swords is the truth. It's the right thing. We've got it in reverse. This was the worst thing. This was totally, obviously it was wrong, but the law in reverse, everything in reverse. Yeah, at utmost damage to, I see, mainly her mother, mainly her upbringing, the school, the religion, wanting to be identified as a man. And what this sounds very bad. What it's a very male thing to do, isn't it? To go into a school dressed as she was, brandishing 3 guns. She was shot dead by police officers that she shot at, and so she got what she wanted. Incredibly dark. The manifesto hasn't been released, so when that is released, it should start to bring to light her motives. But I think the tarot have pointed out a lot of that. We shall see what comes up in the manifesto, and see if there's any need to revisit this. Very, very disturbed person, and her actions had nothing to do with gender, had nothing to do with religion. It was a very darkly, deeply disturbed woman who made her choice in life. And what a dreadful, dreadful choice it was. My prayers go out to those 3 6-year-old children and those 3 adults, and all the people involved that have lost their dear, dear family members. I shall leave it there. Let me know what you think. I'm in England. I know very little about this case, so anything that you learn, please tell me. And I'll sign off now. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.